Good evening, traders. I am the stock analyzer from InvestorsHub.com and StockHideout.com. Tonight, we're going to look at IDCN. This is a stock that has just confused the hell out of me lately. There is so much hype around this stock, talking about 1 cent, 0.005, 0.01, huge news coming, all sorts of things. And as of yet, we haven't seen some monster news that we're looking for, but we've seen great gains. So I'm doing the stock because there is something that caught my eye this past week, and it may be time again to put IDCN back on your radar if a couple of things happen. First of all, we got all the way down here to the 200 moving average line. Something I predicted a long time ago. I was telling a few people that it may hit this price. The one person in particular that didn't listen to me, well, there we go, 0.0008. So we hit the 200 moving average line. This is where we want to see the stock hold over. I think it's important that we hold over the 0.0007, 0.0008 range moving forward. If that happens, we may be setting up for a reversal. How far the reversal goes depends on a lot of different things. I'm only going to tell you what I see technically on the chart. If news hits, anything else comes up that could break, that could bring in more buying pressure, then all things out the window. You never know where a stock's going to go when there's a big promotion or big news. But technically speaking, here's what I see. Support at 0008 and 0007. Resistance right now is at the 20 moving average line, which is at 0.0015. Although I think that's fairly minor because the general volume over the past month or two has been fairly light. We've had a couple days where we've seen 300, 400 million shares traded, but for the most part, we're talking about anywhere from 80 to 120, 130 million shares traded, which isn't huge for this price stock. So I think the minor resistance is at 0015. I think the little bit of a stronger resistance is going to be 0019. The reason why I say that is because number one, it's the 50 moving average line, which takes into consideration the average closing price over a longer period of time, 50 days, and also because we had a previous run here to 0019 that we didn't break. So minor resistance at 0015, little stronger resistance at 0019. If that's broken, I think that's when there's some serious attention being brought back into IDCN, because at this point we're making a higher high. We had a high of 0023 and then a run off of support back to 0019. We didn't break a higher high, so now we continue to see lower highs and lower lows. Again, to kind of recap a little bit, we want to see the 0019 break. If that happens, we're making a new high. I think that's a serious sign of a reversal in trend at that point. Then we turn our attention to 0.0023. If that's broken, we're going to attack the major resistance that we've been talking about since day one, and that's 003. If that area can break, and if we can finally break and hold over that, now we were talking about the potential for a serious, more sustained run, the possibility of 005, 006s, things like that start to come up. But we have to take one step at a time. That's break 0015 first, then break 0019, which I think is really, really the key. I think we could probably run up this week maybe and even test that point based on the reversal here. So if that happens and we break, now we can do a new video and start talking about some serious gains at that point at a higher price. The reason why I think actually to go back a step here is while we're in a reversal, there's two things that catch my attention. Number one, the MACD line's getting ready to cross. And the last time it crossed, we did have that test at 0019, which was right around here, right in the beginning of May. So a short while ago, it crossed pretty much at the same level here, the same point. We had a nice run from 0.0012 up to 0.0019. So we're setting up for that same type of break on the MACD histogram. The other thing that I like is that in the background here, the past 3 days, the volume has started to pick up. The major selling bar, like we saw here, total decline, pretty much stopped the selling, and now some new interest came in on Friday, closing at the high of the day, which is another great sign. So let's see what happens early this week. See if we can test 0015. Our major test is 0019. If that breaks, all hell could break loose. We could test 0.0023, 0.003, who knows, maybe higher. But again, this is just a technical view. I'm not a registered licensed broker. This is only my opinion. I do hold shares right now in IDCN. I picked some up late last week off this possible reversal candle here and the fact that we held the 200 moving average line. So I am going to go long on it now. I think this is a good area to add in my personal opinion for me as a trader and my trading style. And I'm going to see if we can go back and test the low to mid twos, maybe even 0.003 over the course of the next week or two or maybe three. So if you have any questions about this stock, you can come check us out at investorshub.com or stockhideout.com. Again, I do hold a position in IDCN, and I'm not a registered licensed broker, so please don't use this video for anything that you would use to buy and sell. Make sure you use your own opinions and technical analysis. As always, good luck and happy trading.